Good morning, my buddy. Today, I am going to develop a topic of some sort of politics. I want to introduce one of teacher in my life, Niccolo Machiavelli. Actually, his is just a technocracy of Florence these days. But, he gave great influence to the later world by his political work, The Prince. That moment of Europe, there are roughly two major ways of government system. One is monarchy, in short, the king dominates his own kingdom. One more is republic system, simple description, people cooperate to manage their country. When Machiavelli was there, monarchy was common system in the Europe. Although some countries pick up democratic system, it was not due to their respect democratic system, but just they did not have strong king, the ruler in their country at that moment. Therefore, destiny of these countries was eaten by big kingdom nearby, or continue endless internal conflict among small leaders. And, although Machiavelli himself was republican in his policy, he had to face to the realistic of his existing world. His, The Prince, had been produced under this circumstance. During Renaissance, his idea was hated by intellectual, and they called his idea as demon, betrayer, non-moral. But, after 18th century, gradually, his idea has been reviewed, and, now, he is in the list of great philosophers in the world. Actually, at that moment of Europe, Florence was small and tiny country. But, due to its economical background, they had certain political power in Europe. However, since Florence did not have their own army by themselves, they had to suffer practical difficulty under the war. Eventually, Medici family came back to Florence, and punished all existing government people, including Machiavelli. So, when Machiavelli was 43 years old, he lost his job and career. But he has two excellent talents, rather than others. Brilliant skill of Italian language to describe what his idea, and broad knowledge of Greek, Roman history. With these two weapons, he started his recruiting activity. Then, wrote The Price, to present to Lorenzo de' Medici, Duke of Urbino. Finally, it did not touch on the heart of Lorenzo de' Medici. But some of existing king in Europe, read The Prince, and follow this idea. Since printing technology was just launched in the market in that era, we are not sure how many people really read this, The Prince, but, obviously, tyrants of that era go along with principle of Machiavelli. His idea was simple and strict. If you want to win the game, do not care your methods. Whatever you did, you will be justified after your victory. He did not say that we do not need sincerity, faith, trust, moral, ethic, sympathy. He did not deny such kind of humanity, but he defined that it is not a principle for king's management. He also quote one local king, or I can say leader, in that era. It was Cesare Borgia, notorious local king of Italy. Machiavelli met him twice, in historical record, as a negotiator of Florence. And, strongly impressed by him after staying with him few months. However, this Caesar Borgia, also eventually, dropped from his kingsway, and super strong large countries, dominate European world. Niccolo Machiavelli recognized realism and political opportunism. His idea was, not along with moral, under Catholic domination. Therefore, when he was in this world, not much reputation was given on him. However, situation was actually on his side. After he dead, people forgot his name, but not forgot his the prince. One of big star in medieval Europe, Karl V kept this the prince nearby his pillow. And remember each and every sentence of it. Henry III of France and Henry IV of France loved to read this book. William the Silent, he edited the price by himself. It is true that the idea of Machiavelli gave great influence for many rulers in the history, and still his idea is core idea of not only modern power politics, but even in the management of companies, employers, I mean businessman. Do you know why the reason? Because business is same as the war, and it creates winner and loser. Therefore, some of employers might be inspired by the idea of Machiavelli. His The Price is consisted of 26 chapters, and he mentioned virtue and fortune of leaders. He said, leader must have these virtue and fortune. He also mentioned, leader has to be lion and fox. Lion has strong power, I mean violence, force, to dominate people. But lion cannot protect himself from traps. Meanwhile, fox is cunning, and able to protect himself from traps, but cannot protect himself from wolf, more strong animal rather than him. Hereby, real leader must have both capabilities. I really feel it is true after COVID crisis, or current war circumstances. I know such employer in the company in my life. His idea makes sense, especially nowadays under these circumstances. He was standing by the ruler's side, and teach leaders how to control people. It eventually helps balance of the world. In order to win, we must disregard whatever methods, and just need only result. How do you think? Do you digest his idea? It was a bit radical, and not really go along with your idea. But, in your long life, you may encounter the situation, along with these words. And, it is, definitely deserved to know, the idea of Machiavellianism, I believe. In order to be a good leader. If you have curiosity, you can search more details of my teacher, Machiavelli.
As the journey continues.